Hello, welcome to the Decorators Den podcast, episode 4. Are we on 4, Sean?
Yep.
We're on 4. With Baz and Sean. We are proudly sponsored by Nap and Bristle Decorating Supplies. Go and visit their website for any decorating tools that you might possibly need. www.napandbristle.co.uk.
And just remember, folks, that when we get to 300 subscribers on YouTube, we're going to be giving away the goodie box plus a free Decorators Den hoodie. They've just been out today. We've just got ours today, and they're so fucking cool, by the way. So we'll also be putting them out with a goodie box when we get to the 300 subscribers.
Yeah.
This week, as you'll notice, we're joined by the one and only Stuart Mclean for SMcLean Decor. Sure, it's SMcLean and no McLean, as Baz was saying at the end of
Stuart Mclean.
last week's episode. Stuart's been running his own business for September 2022. He's grown a massive following over 3 or more social media places, but mainly Instagram, TikTok, which I first met him, and Facebook. You'll catch him with SMcLean Decor, I think it is, on all 3 of the platforms. He's amassed amazing 125,000 people that follow him on all 3 of the platforms, by the way, which is absolutely huge. So massive guest for me and Baz. So how are you, Stuart?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Pleasure to be here. I'm delighted to be on your podcast.
We're delighted to hear you, mate.
Yeah, it's nice to actually have you on. Because I know I first met you at Scotland Decorating Show, didn't I?
Yeah, you bought me my first pint of the year.
Innit? Because I was never going to refuse a pint. And anyone who knows me knows I will never refuse a pint. And I got the vibe that Stu wouldn't either, so we got on like a house on fire.
Typical Scotsman then, eh?
Aye.
Innit? Yeah.
How's your week been then, gut lads? What you've been up to? What's been happening?
Can't complain. I've been working my way through a townhouse. The whole thing's going to be skimming stone, though, so I can tell by next week I'm going to be bored of that.
Scunnered. Good Scottish word there for any Scottish viewers. Scunnered by it. What about yourself, Baz?
I mean, compared to last week, I haven't had that bad of a week. Apart from, I've just had to fork out about 400 quid to get me car fixed. It's had no MOT for about a week and a half. And yesterday, my van rolled down the hill while there was no one in it and smashed into a car.
Bad, like?
The car is.
Nasty.
The van's alright, to be fair. Like, the car's just caved in. Like, hopefully it's just superficial. It's just a bumper. Hopefully it's a case of just getting a new bumper and there's nothing internal fucked. Otherwise,
At least there'd be nobody sitting in the car, so at least you're not going to get like an injury claim, basically, which is usually the expensive bit of fucking thing.
well, he doesn't want to go through insurance, so that's a bit of a bonus.
I've been fucking quite poorly myself this week. I've got a bit of a sore throat. I don't know how I'll be sounding in the podcast. I maybe sound okay right now, but by the time I've spoke for an hour and a half, and trust me, I can't fucking speak for an hour and a
Sean
half.
will just be like that halfway going, "So Stuart, what was you doing last week?"
Aye.
Are you trying to get a sponsorship there, Baz?
What?
So you trying to get a sponsorship?
Yeah, innit?
This week's episode sponsored by Cavonia cough syrup,
Me
by
and
the
Sean
way.
don't. Me and Sean don't do any of that for sponsorships. Sean just takes it up the arse. What?
Armstead. Take it up the Armstead. Which would be an amazing bit of fucking advertising for them on it if you could turn around and say, this week I'm taking it up the Armstead. Instead of Armstead Decorator, we're open. Right, Stu, what we like to do to just get the guests a wee bit warmed up for answering questions, we like to do these quick fire questions. So it's just fast, fucking first that comes to your head. I'm sure you maybe seen it with Robbo last week. So are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Painter or decorator?
Decorator.
Powder or ready mix?
Ready mix.
Ladder or hop up?
Hop up.
Favourite brush?
Arrow of your Rembrandt.
How many inches?
2.5.
Sounds about
Laser,
right.
spirit level or plumb line?
Laser.
Most important thing in your lunchbox?
Yogurt.
Interior or exterior?
Interior.
Oil based or water based?
Water based.
Left-handed or right-handed?
Both.
Oh,
Ooh.
one tool you'd
Fancy.
cry if you lost.
Eh?
One tool you would cry if you lost.
The Festool.
Sand by hand or get the sand and stuff out?
Get the sand and stuff out.
Marker Festool.
Festool.
Sorry, Sean. Can I just
What's
ask?
worse? Runs that are roller lines.
Runs.
Mask up or cut in freehand.
Freehand.
Dust sheets or fancy protection.
Dust sheets.
Synthetic or pure.
Synthetic.
Ladder or scaffolding.
Scaffolding.
Paint with silk or strip wood chip.
Silk.
Baz or Sean.
Baz. Got to level the score up.
That's it. 1-1.
It's 1-1. Even
It's
I
one
picked
each.
Sean, Stu.
I'll mark that down.
Well, I didn't want to get somebody accuse me of Scottish bias.
Aye.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you then. I thought you was near the end of questions. That's why I interrupted you.
No, I just wanted to, because I've got questions too.
Yeah.
So I fire on with your question.
How do you have you used a Merca?
Yeah, my brother's got one and he gave me a Leniate, but
But do you prefer the Festool over the Merca? Because I've only used the Merca. I haven't used the Festool.
I don't think there's much between them, to be honest. When I started doing research to get my own sander, I just kind of got a grasp that Festols last longer than Mercas, but I don't think there's a great deal between them.
No. I think you can maybe get good and bad ones or anything you buy, like.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people will hear a problem with a Merca and automatically they just say, "Oh, Merca's shit." And that's it. One of my mates has got a Festool, and I like the activation. Oh, me and Baz spoke about it in the last episode. That the fact that you just press it on with a button and it's going, whereas the Merca you hate to press the B pressure pad down. So I felt like you could get longer reach with the Festool, and the Plane X was lighter, apparently a lot lighter than the Leros. So no, I think rather than saying, "Oh, this is better than that," I think eventually I would personally like to have both. Maybe not in everything, but both maybe. Both in some of the sanders, if that makes
it's
sense.
nice
Well, you can
to
get
have a
those
bit of a
adapters
change
so
in
they
it.
can go between the machines.
You can use an extractor on the Merca and exactly on the Festool extractor on the Merca and stuff. So
Yeah.
both handed too, by the way, is like so. Have you always been like? Obviously, I've seen you. By the way, for listeners, viewers, Stuart's always quite multi-talented with loads of things.
Yeah.
We've recently found out he's really good at voiceover.
He's a dark horse, isn't he, Stu?
Voices. But
He's a-
also, I've seen this week, and I think I'd maybe seen it a while ago as well. He can also juggle.
Yeah. I think I saw it a while ago, but I completely forgot about it until you posted that video again the other day.
Are you just good with both hands? Like, are you equally as good with both hands? Like,
Painting and decorating and juggling, be both hands, but I've got a weird thing with my left hand. When I start writing, I write backwards perfectly.
right?
Fucking hell.
That's just a weird thing.
Right, that's innit? I feel like that's a talent in itself, though, mine, innit?
So I should probably start learning how to write at the same time with both hands, and they would be mirror image each other.
Well, you were talking this week about being delayed with doing quotes and invoices. So if you can write with both hands, you could just start at the
Two
middle
at
of
a
your
time.
paper, and that's 50% of your time back.
True. Let's get that done.
Anyway, sorry, there was a bit of deadness in there then.
I was waiting.
That's all right. We'll edit that
answering
out.
your question.
Yeah. So my question to you is, where did your first interest in painting and decorating come from?
Well, my dad was a decorator, so I kind of just followed suit. But I actually didn't want to be a decorator. I wanted to be anything but a decorator. But then I had this crazy idea that I could be a football player. But turns out you have to be semi-decent to actually do that.
Yeah, I
But
think
then, like,
that's where I fall a bit short.
when I was in high school, I wanted to be a vet, so I started taking subjects to start learning to be a vet, and then I found out how long you have to go to university for, and I needed a bit of money, and my dad offered me a few shifts, and next thing I know, it was 22 years later.
Did when you were younger, and obviously your dad was obviously a decorator, did he ever say to you stuff like, "Oh, don't become a decorator. There's no money in it," or it's like, did he try and put you off the trade, or was he trying to like? The reason I
No,
ask, by the way, is because I'm a son and a grandson of decorators. I'm a third generation decorator, and when I was younger, my dad was like, "Oh, I didn't become a decorator. There's no money in it." And back then, I don't know if there was money in it. I think nowadays it's quite well paid, like compared to some jobs, Ken. But that was always what he'd said. But
Yeah.
he was kind of employed for a long time. He was employed for 10 years. He was 10 year older than me when he went in to start, up his own business. He was obviously an employed decorator. So
I was never put off being a decorator, but it was always I do your apprenticeship, then you've got something to fall back on.
Yeah.
aye.
See, I was quite lucky in that respect. I didn't have anyone to what is it like this?
The sway of it.
Yeah, like away from any job because none of them worked. So
Aye, right.
none of my family had a fucking job, so they couldn't tell me shit.
Aye, so families are like that. I think everybody's families have got for one reason or another. Folk
Yeah.
that didn't really work or whatever.
So before you set up SMcLean Decor
Oh, right.
Oh.
in
Delete.
2022, what was your biggest turning point of the trade? Like of your trade career, even?
Well, like, to go deep, it was when my dad died, and I kind of realised that you are just a number on site. Like,
Yeah.
there's no point going the extra mile on new builds because you're not going to get rewarded for it. They'll replace you as soon as anything happens to you. And I kind of just started doing the job I was getting paid to do instead of going above and beyond.
Yeah.
Aye.
See, I feel like not even if you're on site, even if you're just working for a firm in general and you're not even on site, you're doing whatever. I feel like that's kind of like the same thing. You getting other people rich, and I think that's what it was for me. I hated getting earning other people money that I'm doing a good job with that I could be earning myself. Do you know what I mean?
See, I think that's a problem with everyday life too. By the way, it's just you're literally just a number. Not just decorators, by the way. That
Oh yeah, exactly.
like if you were to drop the customer that you're working for this week, for example, they'd have another decorator lined up ready for next week.
Yeah.
Your wife and your kids are gonna be sitting missing you, and somebody else is gonna be painting that house within a month. Ken, and it's scary to think like how quickly you can be not just replaced but forgot about.
Yeah.
It's not it's somebody maybe mentions a name and they say to you, "Oh, remember all Jim for down the street," and it twigs and think, "God, I had forgot about him." Ken, and it's like life just moves on without you. So it's important, I think, kind of to try and lay a kind of legacy. Obviously, try to lay a stamp, and obviously a good stamp in the world too. Like, see, in the 2 decades that you've been a decorator, so you'd started obviously when you're younger, and you've obviously only kind of started up your own business in the last few years. But see, going all the way back, is there something that you wish you knew, what you know now that you wish you'd known years ago, or what, like just a wee adage to that question? Do you wish you had started your business sooner and got off the site sooner?
I think that's an easy answer to say. Aye, I do wish I was off site quicker, but you know, the friendships you make and the connections you make with the boys, like they're on site, the joiners, the sparkies, like they throw work my way from time to time. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if there is anything like that I wish I knew back then that I know now, but
Aye, so if you were...
except maybe like, knee pads. Definitely wear knee pads.
Aye, I think we can all echo that, Ian, by the way. Everybody tells you when you're younger, by the way, get a pair of knee
Aye.
pads on, and you're like, oh, my knees are fine.
Yeah, innit? My knees are fucked now.
I could jump about onto the ground like fucking Triple H when I was going down to paint a skirt and like fucking fresh air, and I think my knees are fucking fine. And now I'm walking about like fucking Forrest Gump when he's a kid with his braces on. So with that in mind as well, obviously your site work and up to date. I would say more up to date. What's the most difficult job that you've ever had to deal with? Ken, whether that's site work or let's get two answers: site work back then and nowadays.
Yeah.
Recently.
We did when I was working with my brother, we done a house, middle of winter, scaffold was still round about it, no power, no heating. It was, you came what it's like up here in the winter, dark as anything, till about 10 o'clock. Couldn't see a fucking thing, and we're expected to paint. I think that was one of the hardest ones. And the bottom floor was flooded with rainwater as well, so it wasn't watertight. But the painters have sorted that. Most recently, it was before I started up myself, but me and my brother were subbed to another firm, and we were decorating a private house, and they got this wall mural, and I think it was £200 a length to put up, and it was like I've got it on my Instagram. It's a mural at the Brooklyn Bridge, New York.
Right.
But the wall was awkward because it went along and then it went up into a skylight.
Right.
And the customer was quite specific about where he wanted the bridge to start and end. So to map that out was a nightmare, and it was one of those pre-pasted papers.
Right.
So you had to wet it. I couldn't get a trough big enough to fit these awkward lengths, so I ended up just pasting it, so it was double pasted, and the blisters on it.
Bad.
It was a nightmare. It all dried back, like, but when I was looking at it, I was like, oh god, this is never gonna.
Stu was like that. Oh, it'll dry back all right. Don't worry about that, Sue.
It took about 2 weeks to dry back, mind, but.
It's funny that though, that stresses that you can put yourself through. You're lying awake at
Yeah,
night
and it's just little things, isn't it? Like
bubbles and wallpaper lying like that at night with your eyes wide open and worrying about it, and then you get back a day later, a week later, and it's fine, and you think, fucking hell, I was lying in bed worrying about that, and there was actually nothing to worry about. It's fucking painting and decorating.
It was something I took from my dad. My dad was notorious for it. He would leave a wallpapering job covered in blisters. All his guys that were working for him were like, that's rough as fuck. He's like, don't worry about it, we'll come in tomorrow and I'll be fine. And they were like, yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Aye.
That's the thing as well. When you've got that much knowledge of what you do, you can confidently just leave and be like, I know for a fact that it's going to be fine in the morning.
Aye. That's with experience, so innit?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you don't just lay college and you're able to do that. I take it your brothers, you got two brothers?
Aye.
Both decorators?
No, one's a travel agent.
Right.
He didn't want to be a decorator.
He saw what it's done to you. Stu's only 21.
He got the brains.
So what
as long as it's not a plasterer, mate.
Yeah,
Plasterer, that's instant ban, like.
What do you hate the most about the decorating trade?
More recently, I kind of dislike how cliquey it's getting.
It is getting very cliquey, innit? Yeah.
If you go back about 18 months, like we were all doing sticker swaps and we were all really supportive of each other, and just, I don't know, in the last sort of 6 months or so, it does seem a bit.
Do you know what it
Like
is?
a
Because
little-
everyone's
little
trying to
groups.
get the ambassadorship. Fucking, everyone's just up people's asses and fucking. Me and Sean's on about this. We're not going to be kissing anyone's ass for no sponsor, no fucking nothing.
No,
But
but
things are
Dave,
very clicky at the minute.
I think like us certainly are both big believers in no selling out and sticking to our
Yeah.
guns with certain things they can. And there's you can get so far. I tend to find that folk that like to kiss arse end up kissing more arse because of it. You start off kissing folks' arses to get somewhere, and you end up the next person down the line just wants their arse kissed, hey, and you end up just fucking kissing an arse for a living basically. So, um,
Your lips just become a fucking bum ring.
I attach to arses fucking constantly.
And sorry. So,
Zero Guinness.
Aye.
what do you love the most about it? What makes you get out of bed in the morning?
You know,
Money.
same as
Moolah.
everybody else. So really
Young
got
moolah,
family support. You've got to
baby.
go out and earn the money for that.
Yeah, I think when you're on one of them jobs where you're excited about it, like not even necessarily just for the money, just for the job itself. Have you ever had one of them jobs where you're thinking, I actually can't wait to do this job. It's gonna look boss when it's finished. I get like that.
Yeah, I get like that.
I think that's what gets me out of bed in the morning, as well as
I like
money.
it when you go to a job and you can picture the finish and you're like, yeah, I
Yeah,
can do that. So this is going to look really good. But some of the jobs you're on, you're just like, it's so mundane, white on white, and
yeah,
Aye.
and
Also,
that's where you do your council painter videos, then, innit, Stu?
I prefer not to speak.
£2,000.
I think also the customers sometimes, if the customers are like, if you're going away and quote, and the customers are really nice, and you think, or if you've worked for them before and you know they're nice, and you have a good rapport with them, sometimes that makes me think, oh, I'm kind of looking forward to going and working for they people because
Yeah.
you know you're not gonna. It's not like somebody's gonna be looking over your shoulder all the time, or. I mean, I'm not a big tea or coffee drinker, but it's nice to be asked. I mean, it's like it's wee things with customers that kind of it gives me a wee boost thinking, oh, I quite like working for them because they speak to you even, Ken. It's quite a lonesome trade at times, Ken.
I think that's one of the good things that comes out of social media is like a lot of my customers have seen me, they've got a sort of idea of how I am, how I act, and it's like I'm getting more customers I prefer to work for than, like, I can't remember the last time I had a customer that had a stick up their arse.
Yeah.
Like, all my customers are really just
Right.
a lot similar to me.
I've got a customer there who's a regular customer, and it's just an old couple, like, and I went and did the hall stairs and landing, and I was like, red flag, red flag, red flag, and I was gonna just not do the job. Because they were on about, will you make sure you can't see the seams in the wallpaper, and can you make sure this, and you can make sure, because he'd been doing it all his life, but obviously not as a decorator. He's just been doing his own decorating, and he was like, but every time I do it, you can do this, you can see this, and you can notice that, and I was like, I might just fuck this off, and I did it. This was like 2 years ago now, and I did it, and it absolutely made up with what I've done. And they were like, how have you managed to do this, and how have you managed to do that? And I was just like, it's just what we do. Like, ever since then, they just find job for me to do. They just go, can you do this, can you do that? And what they've done it for, a daughter does like this little local like news thing to help advertise businesses and shit like that. So they put me in that. And the last time I went, I thought, do you know what? They've given me loads of work. I think it was just like a living room and one feature wall. And I just went, it'll just be this amount. I've got white, I've got this, I've got that on the van. I'm not going to charge you much. And it came to paying. was like, so how much was it again? I said, oh, it was this amount. He was like, no, that's too low, that. I can't let you go with that. And I said, I've done it just because you've been nice to me over the past 2 years since I've been working for you. Like, anyway, they still ended up paying me more than what I asked for, but it's like Sean was saying then, it's customers like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really does
And
make it
that just
worth it.
that just totally gives you a lift, isn't it? So you maybe have five no shit customers, because I didn't want to class any of them as shit, but you have five kind of normal customers that you're in to do the job. They don't speak much to you. They just let you get on with the job, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah, yeah.
They're no picking, but you have that one customer that'll be offering you tea and coffee. They give you an extra £100 in your pie when you've done it. They hand you a bottle of whiskey as you walk out the door or something, and you get to the van and it's wee thing. I can't. It's a £30 bottle of whiskey. It's an extra £20 in the pie packet. It's
Yeah.
a offer or a cup of tea, but it fucking gives you that like
That boost.
wee spring in your
Yeah, it
step. Your
does, doesn't it?
humanity, faith in humanity restored, if that makes sense. Like,
And Mark,
Yeah.
the customer I'm on just now, they made me my dinner on Wednesday night. I was like, that's me finished for the day. I'll see you later. Oh no, wait. This is for you and your family. And I was like, God, how nice is that?
Yeah.
exactly. And that's the kind of wee things you think, oh, that was fucking really nice. They don't need today either, Ken.
Exactly, yeah.
On the other side of the coin, what's the most difficult job that you've kind of had for whatever reasons? Any reason, Stuart? Like worst mistake or something that you've maybe.
Oh, that was
Or
no
even
long
something you've
after I
had to
set,
walk off.
no long after I set up myself. You know, nobody teaches you how to be a self-employed painter and decorator or business person, but
Yeah.
something you're always like drummed into you is the customer's always right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I started a job. It was a wallpapering job. I was meant to be wallpapering a Holstein in London, but the customer's husband had an operation and he was lying upstairs in bed, and she'd asked me to paper it for the bottom up, and like I was like, oh, I no bother. And then I soon found out that it was basically impossible to wallpaper it that way because of the way the stair was, and
Yeah, yeah.
ended up making mistakes on the wallpaper. And she had asked me to paper her kitchen, and she'd asked me if, do you need the wallpaper that's up already stripped? And I said, well, obviously. Oh, I'll get the kids to strip that tonight then, but they only took the face paper off
Right.
That
and they
pisses
left the
me off,
backing
that.
paper. And when I came in the next day, they said, like, is that okay? And I went, well, no. Explain the things that could happen if you papered on top of it.
Yeah.
And she went, oh, didn't worry about it, just a kitchen. And I was like, well, if you're happy to proceed with that, that's fine. Like, now I know I should have just took the extra 5-10 minutes, soaked it and took it
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Took it off.
But like, I was really young and naive then, so I went and done it. And then about 2 weeks later, they sent me photos. Oh, all the seams have opened, and I was like, well, I fucking told you they would open.
Yeah, innit? I
But
think the longer you're working for yourself, the more, not just the more you learn, but the more you start to know your own expectations,
Like
how
what
like
you like.
your own standard. Because like
Mhm.
now, if someone said that to you, there'd be no chance you'd just say no. It gets fully stripped, or I'm not doing
Aye.
it. Simple as that.
Yep.
exactly that.
But obviously, like Stu said, then when you're young and naive, you're just a bit like, oh, all right, then I'll do it.
And also, it's fine maybe if a customer turns around and says, "Oh, just put it on top. It's only a kitchen." But maybe when you've gained a wee bit of experience, you say, "That's fine, but I'm going to put that in writing for you, and you just
Aye,
take it okay in a message."
Yeah,
that's what I should have
It
done.
it keeps you covered, Ken, and then obviously, if there's any comeback, well, you say, "Well, I did explain that to you, Ken." So it's usually when you say to somebody, "That's fine, but I hate to put it in writing," and you'll hate to okay it in the message before I gone ahead
Sean,
and date. They
pause.
usually be like, it scares them away,
Sean,
and they usually say, "Oh, it's fine. I'll just we'll just get it stripped."
Sean,
Yes,
just pause a minute.
I've froze here.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Me and Stu are all right here.
Yeah,
Oh, it's fine. I'll just I'll just speak for it. It's all right as long as you can hear me. It's fine.
Aye, audio's fine.
Oh, aye, as
Right,
long
go
as the
on.
audio's fine. Maybe it's
Resume.
looking at. I look worse when it clears up anyway. So even when you were starting up yourself, Stuart, like how were you okay at pricing jobs, like financially wise? Were you quite good? Did you know your worth? Like, so you weren't underselling yourself?
Oh no, I was my first 6 months to a year. I was dirt cheap, like ridiculously cheap.
And was that just to kind of get work in, okay, or were you just scared to be too expensive? Or
Not well. I felt like I was scared to be too expensive. I kind of like. I think when I left site work, I just kind of had a figure in my head of what I wanted to make a week, and it was sort roughly what I was earning, but
a wage?
a wee bit more for like to pay your tax,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
Aye.
So I think I had like, I think I only wanted to make like £600 a week or something.
That is mad.
So I was pricing jobs, and I was like, X amount for a ceiling, X amount for a wall, and like a room costs this much, and I, I felt like I was happy with that, and then I started realizing like, nah, I'm so out of the market, like lost it like less than like what somebody in the pub would charge.
Aye.
Yeah.
For a professional decorator to.
Cause I think like I used to, when I was doing homers on the side when I was working on site, I only wanted like £100 a shift working the weekend because I thought that was great money.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I was only earning like £50 or £60 a day on site.
Right.
So I was charging £50 to go out on a Friday evening to prep a job, and then £100 a shift Saturday and Sunday, and I was like getting an extra £250. But that was 50% of my weekly wage working on site. So
Yeah,
I felt like that was brilliant, and I didn't know any better.
yeah.
So they people when you get back in work, presuming that you've maybe been back. So the first 6 months, just as a wee bit to that question, you obviously had some customers, 6 months worth of customers. Since then, have you ever been back to the customers and priced? Obviously now you're more wiser with your pricing. And originally you've charged them, let's just say £250 for a Holstein landing, which we all know is fucking pennies, by the way. And then obviously you get in with a mere standard price of say £700, which would be kind of average council house Holstein landing, complete refresh, right? And they say, holy fuck, your prices have fairly went up.
Aye, it has happened. Aye.
Did they still accept your price? Or were they a bit like, nah, fuck.
No, I've lost a lot of the first customers I had when I was doing
Yeah,
homers.
yeah.
I think I've only got 2 or 3 of them now.
Yeah.
Aye.
Well,
Because
it's,
they were wanting a dirt cheap decorator.
Aye.
it's the
I think
same
I've,
though, innit? Where you do a job for someone, they only message you again about 2 or 3 years down the line, and then they're like, oh, well, you only charged this last time. I was like, yeah, that was fucking 4 years ago, love. Like,
Aye.
the times have changed dramatically.
I think I had a customer that I done a homer for. I think I painted 2 bedrooms for her in a weekend, so I was like, I think like £200. It was £100 a room basically.
Yeah,
God, almost embarrassed to say that.
yeah, innit?
And then like years later, she wanted me to paper a media wall, and I said like, well, that'll take me 2 days. It's like X amount. I can't even remember how much I quoted her, and she just like sent one message back, too expensive, and I've never heard from her again. It's like, fuck it, you paid more to the joiner and the plasterer to get that media
Yeah.
wall built.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, regarding decorating and jobs and stuff like that, what is a painting and decorating tip that a lot of people underestimate? Or hack, can't, like,
You can never prep too much. I
yeah,
can. You put videos up of like shining a light on a wall, and you'll get comments for the dinosaurs saying, "Oh, that's overkill," but you can't do too much prep.
yeah,
My dad
Aye.
always said preparation is decoration.
90% prep, 10% painting is what we used to say. Ken, it's like if you're getting the company that I worked for before I worked for myself, the boss was it was like a dictatorship. But he was right. They wanted it fucking dynamite. They wanted torches shone on the walls and every single detail. It was none of this 2 meter natural light standing away. It was shot torches shone across the walls at bad angles and filling every single dent in the walls. So see when the painters used to come onto site and there would be that company had a few plasterers in the time that worked for them, and they hated us because we'd come onto the site and we'd obviously be shining, and they're saying, "Who the fuck's asking you to do that?" Because I, I think no, there's very few plasterers out there that can get completely smooth. Even the best of plasterers, you shine a torch across the wall and it's fucking bumps and lumps. So, like sometimes it's like the Himalayas, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's like I was doing a kitchen not long back, and it was like an old farmhouse. And originally they had, obviously it was dead old fashioned. They had tiles as like the backsplash type thing,
yep.
and they wanted them off. So they'd got all the walls plastered, and then decided they wanted them off. So they got the
Right.
tiles took off. That behind that didn't get plastered. So I've scraped all the fucking grout and the fucking adhesive and all that off. Got it fucking looking spot on. Sanded it, it was fucking immaculate. But because of the way the sun shined, mate, you wanted to see it. In the morning, the afternoon, you couldn't see it. First thing in the morning, when the sun's fucking directly there, mate, it was fucking disgusting. And I just went, oh shit. So I just got some fucking easy fill and just skimmed over it, and then obviously give it a good sand, and it was top. It was as good as it was gonna get. I mean, you couldn't notice it. So
See, I think that Delapro stuff and that nowadays
Yeah.
eliminates a bit of that in it. You roll it on and smooth it. I've seen you using it before as well, Stuart. Like, but so you can kind of do a bit with that. I think even it can be used our Artex, which I find quite surprising. Like,
yeah, I think
I think that's going to be a big one next year's. All these roll-on fillers. I think a lot of the
because
manufacturers
Two
are
Prey
going to be
started
bringing them out. There's a few
advertising
of them
their
out now.
skim and fill, aren't they?
what's that, Baz?
Two Prey started advertising their skim and fill as
They've
a roll
got
on,
one as well,
as a roll on
Decorators
filler.
have one as well, and I think Caparol have one.
Yeah.
Not that I really want to pronounce the Caparol one. It's like mental. The name of that.
That was a kind of that's always been a kind of issue. We spoke about that before as well with the Caparol stuff. It can't just say fucking smooth filler. It has to be some kind of fancy name, Ken, which really off-puts me. Tickerella is similar, by the way, although I use quite a bit of Tickerella stuff. But no, it's funny that a lot of them are bringing out. I suppose they'll see what works with the market, won't they? They'll see that what's becoming popular. But it'll be an interesting video to make, maybe, or a review today, checking the difference, because Two Prey are obviously quite a big brand for filling. So you'd imagine that they're just gonna enter in with their, what was it you said it was called, Baz?
I think it's the skim and fill.
Skim and fill, and it'll automatically be a market leader, won't
Yeah.
it? Because it's got Two Prey's name on it.
Yeah.
I've got a test board to do at my mum's garage, and I'm testing out the difference between the Dalla Pro and the Tickerella Presto R.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
And the Presto R is like I've only just skimmed it over the last couple of days, but the Tickerella one's a lighter colour than the grey colour that goes with the Dalla Pro.
Speaking of
See
like
the
brands,
likes of the filler, Stuart, can they be re-wetted so make them more workable? Can they?
Aye.
like in
I
plaster,
put a
where
sponge over
you
them
could
and
give
then-
it a bit of a spray, like.
Or you just run the roller over it again, just to
Right.
work it up again.
Right.
Yeah,
I
because I've
always
only.
wondered.
Sorry, Sean, go on.
No, I just always wondered about that because I do
Yeah.
quite a lot of work rurally and like a lot of all buildings and obviously sometimes the budget isn't there to do as much prep. Sometimes customers just want it painted. Not everything's going to be Instagram worthy, and
Right.
Ken, obviously you look at some of the walls and think, I wonder if I got that stuff, painted it on, time-wise, would it be better? You can come back the next day. You're no need to erse about filling wee blemishes.
Yeah, innit?
Because I think sometimes you fill a dent in a wall perfectly, it just makes the next bit of the wall along
Yeah.
look
Well,
worse because you've took the texture away again.
while we're on about products, what product do you swear by? And this is a bit of a two-part. And which one do you regret ever buying?
Whereby? Oof.
I feel like I know the answer to the swear by.
I'm trying to pick something that's not as obvious as a brush. Truth be told, I probably swear by a hop-up. Like, I can't see past them.
My Werner, have you got the Werner adjustable hop-up?
No,
What have you
I've
got?
just got the folding one.
Just a normal one.
I remember when I was an apprentice having to carry a pair of steps around with me all the time. Or, like, my brother and that used to have an old bars crate.
Yeah.
And used to
That's
kick
what
it
I
around the
use,
floor.
by the way. I use a lemonade crate to this day.
I'm
But they
surprised
all
you
got
need
put in
out,
the
Sean.
skip because health and safety bin them off the site. So,
Aye.
probably a hop-up. I think that's something I swear by. Like, try to think outside the box and know to say, oh, aye, a brush.
Yeah. I think, so my best is my hop-up because, apart from the Merker, obviously my Merker, but I've got the Werner hop-up, but it's got adjustable height. So, obviously, I'm a short ass. Obviously, it comes in perfectly, especially with them old houses with the high ceilings. I'm not fucking about having to get the ladder out.
When Baz is, just for folk that are watching, when Baz is doing that, when he sets his hop up, that's how high it is.
Yeah,
So
that's from.
it's about his eye level.
So I think the height on the hop up is 2 foot, so it's about that high on me.
And Baz is only 1.5 foot. He's 18-inch to be exact.
Yeah.
Sorry, Baz.
You're alright, don't
I
worry.
rained on your parade there, didn't I?
I'll be taking piss out of your height, so you're all good.
You've got loads of fucking ammunition with me, by the way. You just need to look at me. Talking about lemonade crates, by the way. My wee lemonade crate, when the day I started decorating with my dad always had he still probably has had a ginger bottle crate, right? And I went up to it. There's a wee shop in Wigton. Shout out Scuds, by the way, fucking local legend. And I went up to his shop and I said, "Can I get the lemonade crates?" And he would do anything for anybody, and he gave me the crate. And see that crate? I've had it since I was an apprentice. I went through my whole time with it. I joined that company that I worked for 7 years and drove it all over Scotland. I've had it fucking £1 million houses, painting distilleries, schools, fucking you name it, it's been there, and I've still to this day got it. So
I don't know where
17,
my
18
milk
years
crate
later,
went. I had a milk crate.
I've
I don't know
still
where it
fucking
went.
got it.
I was fucking fuming because I spent years trying to get a crate. Finally got one. I felt like that. This is it. I'm a man now. I've got the crate. And a week later, the health and safety officer came and took it, like smashed it up and chucked it in the skip. I was fucking raging.
Yeah. Was you using it on site? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to mine.
I've actually got two, by the way, if you want a crate. I've got 2 crates. I've got a contingency crate, let's try it.
Sean's favourite people
That'll be
use
your
crates
appearance
as
fee,
well.
though.
I'll take it.
That's your appearance fee.
Sean will be turning up to Coventry going, "Yeah, Stu."
I tell you what, I am bringing to fucking Coventry, by the way. I'm bringing Sam for my paintbrush, a watermelon.
Yeah.
You better no think I've fucking forgot. He made me a watermelon in, what was it, 20, 30 bites or less? Or something like that. And I had to get up the stair and put my fucking fingers to my throat after it. It was fucking gross.
Was
I
it?
hadn't
Was it
looked
good
at that
effort?
watermelon since. What materials do you feel like are overhyped or a waste of money? So something that gets a lot of hype on the internet that you've maybe used, and but when you used it yourself, it was fucking dog shit.
Ooh.
By the way,
Overhyped,
it's me saying no.
I would say a lot of the tapes are overhyped.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, tape, in my opinion, masking tape's masking tape. I don't think there's a great deal of difference between a lot of the brands. Like, you done a test on it last week.
Yeah.
I think that proved that the things that are different in masking tape are the price and the marketing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think regarding to masking tape, because I don't know if Sean agrees, but I personally prefer the mask.
Yep.
It's never let me down. But then it's got to come to a point where it's all the same shit. Do you know what I mean? At what point is it fucking...
See, I'm probably a kind of like probably a bit of like a whore for tape. I'll just buy whatever's on offer.
Yeah.
I'll just phone up the paint shed or whatever and say, what you got on offer this week? I mean, I was getting 1-inch Q1, the gold Q1 or yellow Q1 for 71 pence a roll.
Yeah, you can't complain at that, can you?
Well, that's I've never heard it as cheap again, because Paintwell at the time were shutting down and they were just wanting rid of stock.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like 71 pence a roll. And I said, how many rolls have you got? Oh, we've got about 50 odd rolls there. And I just was like, just send me every roll.
Yeah.
For that price, like. Aye, so no, we tend to kind of maybe. I do use a lot of masking tape. Baz is more a freehand person. I'll fucking tape up everything. I think it's such a cleaner line with taping up. No, I don't tape a ceiling like I'm cutting it.
Yeah, you'll cut the wall in and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Woodwork skirtings, things like that. I'm taping them up. I think just I can't be fucked cleaning. I'll clean, but I don't want to be cleaning my paint off and stuff like that off.
Mainly
Skirtings,
what
like.
I tape up is flooring.
Aye.
And carpets and shit. Generally, I don't use it apart from that.
Right. Next question. Everybody will be familiar. It's that would I lie to you stolen for the TV show? So basically, we're going to ask this next question. Stuart's going to give us 3 answers. One of them will be true. 2 of them will be a lie. Stuart already told us before we started the show that he was a pretty bad liar, so we'll put that to the test. Because we believe Stuart is a council painter also, so...
Yeah,
no...
So, also as well, he's tried to throw us off the scent, because he put a story on before saying, oh, this is the same window. It's you, Stuart.
Aye.
You know it's the same window, that's why.
Right.
It's my house.
And the windows behind him, that would be funny, wouldn't it? So the question is, what's the weirdest thing a customer ever asked you to do?
Paint a van, paint a coffin, and paint a zebra crossing.
Right. So Baz, instantly, last week or the 2 weeks when we did it with Rob, I could instantly veto you, and I had not a clue this week. So would you like to ask a few questions and we'll see if we can get...
Yeah. So, I'm trying to just think which one I don't believe.
So
I think at the minute I'm edging towards the van, so I'll ask a van question. What kind of van was it?
It was a Ford Transit.
Aye.
What year?
And was it scratched or?
It was a rust bucket.
Aye.
So I'm assuming you sanded
that's
it.
the reason for painting it.
Sorry, what?
Because it was rusty, that was the reason for needing it painted.
I painted it with crown full gloss with a foam roller.
Nah,
Fuck
you're
off.
bullshitting.
No.
Bullshitting.
Right. The coffin. I'm guessing you're working for a funeral director, or you're nobody's fucking uncle's dying and the auntie's saying to you, oh, we could do with that coffin with a lick of osmo oil before we put him in the ground, Stuart. You only saddle and wood stain lying about, so what you're going to give us more info on the coffin.
Don't well, B-Deck do a barn paint, don't they? So do you not get a coffin paint?
What was the third one, Stu? There's a van, a coffin.
A zebra crossing.
So I reckon, see, council painter, you were working for the council.
Aye, good
Aye.
thought, man. And obviously, I would say out of the three, if you were to pick the three and say what's the jobs, I would say zebra crossing is the most likely, because it obviously needs paint. It's obviously normally done with a rods department, but I'm thinking if it was for like a wee school, not a pathway, but a wee single track road that went into a school, they maybe just say to Stuart, I'll get some fucking Couvar paint and put some fresh lines on the zebra crossing, because cars are just no stopping for it. So
I reckon, I've done car parks and zebra crossings and shit like that myself for a firm that I used to work with. So I reckon it's possible that Stu has as well.
So ask him a couple of questions only a car park painter would know. Also, car park painters coming to TikTok very soon.
That Barney's new TikTok handle.
So, with your zebra crossing, what paint did you use?
Road marking paint.
What brand was it?
Johnston's, I think.
I'm struggling this week, to be fair.
See, Johnston's do. So, was it a main road or was it like a private?
Private.
See, he could have used Johnston's for the... He wouldn't have got away with it if it was a public area.
Car park painter knows best.
Yeah. Alright. What about... So you used... What did you use on the van again?
Crown full gloss.
Try catch him out a bit then.
I thought you maybe catch him out there. I thought, what are you sitting on here, Baz?
Personally, I think that the van is the bullshit.
Well, actually, I think the van is the truth.
Do you?
So I feel like I'm going to stick with the van.
Being the truth.
Yep.
So I think the truth is... the...
By the way, folks, this is your time to guess at home.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Pause it, have a quick think and leave a comment.
Late in the comment section.
Because even Spotify has a comment section, so you've no excuse. So I reckon, I think it's possible he did the coffin. I think, see, it's only one truth though, innit? So it's like... I'm going with...
$1 million question. Ask the audience, Buzz.
Can I phone a friend? I don't know. I feel, right, I'm going to just go with my gut instinct. I feel like the zebra crossing is the truth.
Car park painter's credibility is in the fucking mud if you get this wrong, by the way. Stuart, reveal the answer.
It's the coffin.
Wow, we're both wrong.
I was half tempted to say a coffin, but I was thinking, I don't think he would have.
So the coffin...
What is the story?
I was edging more towards that fucking
when I was
car
on
park.
Site, the site manager was health and safety daft. Absolutely obsessed with it. So he had the labourer build a coffin, got me to paint it, and he had like a skeleton coming out the side of it, and he put a sign on it that said, make health and safety a priority, don't become a fatality.
All right.
And put it at the entrance to the
site. So
site.
you used it as like like an advertising.
It lasted a week, and then his directors told him to take it down.
Uh,
But I've got the
Right.
pictures there. We painted it with black gloss. It was
So
the
you're
worst
still-
job you've ever seen.
you're still 1-0 up, Sean.
Aye.
And to
So
be fair, like I said, I'm shit at lying, so the other two are half truths. So the
Right.
van was painted with full gloss and a foam roller, but it was my dad and his foreman that painted it,
Right.
and it was a roundabout I painted, not a zebra crossing.
Well, there you
Again,
go.
again, it was for a site manager that was obsessed with health and safety, so he had all these road markings. I painted speed bumps, flower pots, roundabouts, gates, everything for him, trying to win a Pride in the Job award.
Aye, just as well you explain that because as you've everybody's seen the new painting roundabouts is a big thing at the moment. So he wasn't painting St George's Crossing roundabouts for anybody coming at us in the content. We no political talk, thanks. And they talk about football, by the way.
Well, I
By
needed
the
the
way,
censor because it was like a massive big
that's no a
sewer
Rangers top
pipe.
behind me, by the way. That's no a football top behind my head there, so it's no, by the way.
Put that hand down. Somebody could paint that red and get you in trouble.
I know.
So, what tools or materials do you feel are overhyped?
We've done that one.
Or we just done that?
You're 13.
What traits do customers most praise you for? And what traits do you think you need to improve?
Weirdly, it's the same thing. I get praised on like how approachable I am, how good I am to talk to. But then the thing that I could improve on is probably my communication as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like quite bad at like responding to messages. And
Liking,
professional side,
liking
yeah,
and sharing Kyle's posts on TikTok.
like
You
I'm
know
a-
that lot.
when I'm on a job, I'm a complete chatterbox. But if the customer sends me a WhatsApp in the afternoon, I'm like,
Yeah.
nah.
Deal with it later.
Aye.
I think that's a bit of kind of burnout too, though, innit? That you get home at night, you sit down, you get the telly on, you're with your kids, or you might just be doing fuck all. But you get this long message about work, and you're trying to switch off, you're trying to unwind, and you kind of you look at your phone and think, God, I can't even bother fucking messaging.
Do you know
you
what?
about-
Because you're on about that. I had a text once, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning. Obviously, I was asleep. And I had a missed call just after it. Obviously, I woke up in the morning, checked my phone. I think it was like 1:30 I got the text, and then 1:35 missed call. I thought, it's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, you silly dickhead.
Aye.
But like, what the fuck are you doing? I didn't
I
even
got
get
a
back to him then, because I thought, how cheeky can you be?
I got a message recently, somebody asking me when I was coming to paint their conservatory at 2:30 in the morning.
Fucking hell.
A conservatory, no like something that's, well, I don't think anything paint and decorating's priority, but it's not like we're plumbers or electricians, Ken, where like my lights aren't working or I've got no hot water. It's like, I need my sunroom painted, Ken, or I don't know, it's going to fucking fall down or whatever. Some folk just,
They have boundaries.
aye.
Right.
Yep.
So, we've just done your traits. So how do you cope when a customer is an absolute pain? So
Block and
if they're nitpicking or complaining or...
You just really got to suck it up, haven't you?
Yeah,
Try
you
and get
do
the
a lot
job
of the
done, and
time.
then once you get paid for it,
You
block,
go,
delete their
see ya.
number.
Well, do you know
Let's
what?
see,
Funnily enough, I can show you my contacts. My contacts are either their address or never work for again. It'll be like Linda, never work for again. Linda,
It's a good idea.
ignore. So I've literally got Anne, Pine Avenue, Anne, Clockface. I've got Billinge, no actual name, just Billinge. Bradshaw, because I don't know the first name. I've got Chin, so his last name was Chin.
Alright, I was
Actually. We're giving the customers nicknames now.
Yeah, innit?
Can
I've
I
got...
just say, Baz, this is a really bad idea because imagine you're sitting there. There can't be that many chins about. You know what
There's
I
a
mean?
lot of
So
chins, trust me.
it's a. I would maybe like quit while you're behind with
Oh, I
this.
Ken, I've got a couple here.
Chin,
I've got
landlord,
about four.
cheap.
Don't worry about it.
Cheap landlord. I've got,
To
honestly,
be
that's
fair,
what
you did say
they're all just fucking nicknamed.
earlier, Stuart, that you did say earlier, Stuart, that you were you were quite lucky with your customers. Obviously, that you haven't had too many bad ones. Like so, I think
I've
that
not.
comes with experience too. You kind of get a gut feeling like, oh, I'll avoid you, or can you kind of know before they're messaging you, or the tone of their message, um, what they're going to be like. Um, on that though, what's the proudest job you've ever done? Like whether it was technically difficult or just like after you finished, it was just fucking stunning. Basically, like something that you thought, even if you thought before you started, oh, it might look shit, but then when you did it, you thought, oh, that's the best.
Again, it wasn't long after I started up for myself. I went to do a job in Merchiston in Edinburgh. I'd never done anything like this before. It was like a old style Georgian flat.
Yep.
The customer wanted the whole flat done. She was just moving into it, but the kitchen in particular, like the kitchen was stunning. She wanted the kitchen sprayed. She had all the cornice work to get done. She had a friend that was an interior designer, and they had this like sort of. It was above the cooker. It was like a platform, and I was like, "Oh, I'll pick that out in white, and it'll look stunning." And the interior designer was like, "Nope, nope, take it in sage green with the rest of the walls." And I was like, "Nah, pick that out with white. It's got a light inside it. You put a plant pot in there. It's going to like make it a feature.
Aye.
That'll look stunning. Fine, do what you want." And then like the customer's delighted with it. Sprayed the kitchen myself. It's the first time I sprayed a kitchen. Sprayed the cornice as well, and the whole job came together really well. I'm glad I sprayed it though, because I'd still be there now, 3 years later, trying to brush that cornice.
Yeah. I think,
Did you train in spray painting?
Yeah, my dad taught me how to spray, but
It's moved on a lot since.
yeah.
Yep.
because the sites hated it.
Right.
You came up building sites are like they want everybody on top of each other, and we were
Aye.
like, well, if we've got the spray gun, it was still oil based at the
Right.
time, so we'd have to lock the door, spray everything in there, and we were like, nobody can go in there till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Aye.
And they hated that because like they want the joiner in to do something, they want the spark in to cut
Yep.
holes, they want the plumber in, and they didn't like the fact that we were basically taking over a house for 2 days to spray the woodwork.
Yep. Aye. And presumably it would be like it would be a sprayer with a compressor then too, would it? It wouldn't be like it was like an air fed sprayer.
It was a Graco Max 5 or something my dad had that we were
Right.
using for. We had a good system in place because we could get the woodwork done in a day.
Aye.
We'd have some guys prepping the woodwork the day before and masking up the tiles and things like that, and then my dad would come in, spray an acrylic on the woodwork, go and have something to eat, and then come back. It was bone dry because it just dried a lot quicker with the sprayer, and then spray
Aye.
it with oil-based gloss in the afternoon, shut and lock the door, come in the next day, and it's still tacky because fucking oil-based is like that.
Aye.
Quick
Just
question,
the finish you were getting was
Sean.
so much better as well, but the sites hated it.
I feel like sites. This isn't the question. I feel like sites nowadays though are all for it because they can get they can
Yeah,
smash
definitely.
they can smash out as much as fucking possible dead quick.
But it's
Yeah.
that into the water-based paints being much better now. So, for example, you get in and you spray the woodwork with like Johnson's Aquaguard or a water-based version or something, and it's dry within a couple of hours, depending on what time of year it is, even sooner. So meaning that you don't need to block the whole site off. You could say to somebody in the afternoon, it'll be dry in a couple of hours. You can get in and cut your holes, or
Yeah.
plumb in the
Definitely.
radiators or something. So, whereas years ago it would have been the oil-based gloss, and you can it's like. It's 16 hours later, it's no dry or whatever. No matter if it's the middle of the summer.
Aye.
Moving on for the decorating side, is there anything else that you're good at, like outside, or like what obviously you'd said earlier you want to be a vet, but like talent wise, like were you good at? You said you were quite good at football when you were younger. Was that obviously you said you some, but anything other than decorating? Like you're obviously good in your social media stuff, but
I've been good at a lot of things. I'm one of those annoying people that sort of good at anything I turn my hand to. Quite good at art and drawing. Obviously, more recently, juggling. Fairly decent at that. Shite at singing. Like I hate karaoke.
Don't put yourself down, Stu. Don't put yourself down. We'll do that for you.
I'd break the microphone.
No, we'll do that for you.
But aye, juggling, like football I was alright at football, nothing special, but like 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Most weeks. Pass marks.
Hearts fan too, by the way, folks. Massive Hearts fan is our Stuart. So if he'd been a Celtic fan, he wouldn't have been on, by the way. It would have been vetoed straight away.
Sean, have we got a game ready this week?
No.
I didn't think we did. Sorry, guys. No, if you were looking forward to that, Sean's let us down.
Would I like you the
game? So, when you look back 10 years from now, what do you wish... What the fuck happened then? What do you wish you told your younger self as you were setting out?
You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Try not. You can try to be everybody's friend, but like.
Yeah.
The reality
is you're never going to please everyone, are you?
No, you're never going to please everybody. You definitely should have worn knee pads when you were younger.
Yeah.
Get a dustless sander. That's something I should have got earlier. Yep. I've got quite bad asthma and it gets worse in the winter.
Yeah. I wish I got mine earlier. I really do. See, I'm a newcomer to laser levels, mate. Up until last year, I was using plumb bob and spirit level still. Because that's the way I was taught.
I think another thing I would tell my younger self is, I think a lot of us when we start self-employed, we think we need to fill every available minute and day in the diary. When in reality, you could probably get away with working 4 days a week.
Yeah.
You could work a couple of less hours. Like that's time you could spend with your family. That's time you could spend doing other things.
Yep.
I don't know why you're agreeing, Sean. You spend 7 days a week fucking working. He's sat there agreeing with you, Stu, and his poor family never see him.
Because I know he's right, but I also feel like I can't say naughty customers sometimes, and I snap myself under with work.
Yeah.
And that's a problem I hate got that I hate letting people down. And when I say to somebody, I'll hate finished by the end of October.
Yeah. And then it's getting to that deadline, and you're kind of like, oh, right, I'm gonna have to do it.
I'm stretched, and I pride myself on being there, like my punctuality and saying to folk in the diary, I'll be there when I say I'm going to be there, and see the down feeling I get when I don't hit the targets. Because I always we're talking earlier about what Stuart gets praised on. I always get praised on when I say I'm going to be there, I'm there. And I've had that feedback a lot of times. But recently, no, a lot of things out with my control. I've not been hitting the dates, and it really. So that's why I work Saturdays and Sundays to try and get myself caught back up. But I'm because I've had this throat fucking thing the last week. So I worked like 30 days on the bounce, not a day off, to get caught up, and then my throat's fucking gave me jip, and I've actually kind of fell back. So they did, and even the woman in the chemist yesterday when I went to pick up my prescription, she says to me, you probably just run down with working too much. So I've literally fucked myself by working too much. So
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I'm nodding my head to what Stuart's saying because I know it's true. But while I listen,
No.
I'm
Yeah.
listening. But will I follow the advice? Probably no. Like, and it'll
I,
take me maybe 10 years to I start saying, oh, I should have fucking listened, Ken.
Because I remember when I first started up and I had that first blip where I didn't have work booked in for a week and I was shitting myself. But end of the week came, the world didn't end, the bills still got paid, the kids were still fed. So,
Yep.
It's like every now and then, thought I don't really do it as much anymore. I will if the money's right, but I was going to work, getting back for the school run at like 2:30, wait for my wife to finish work, then I'd then go to work, to go and do another job till about 11, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd come home and I'm up again at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning to do the exact same thing.
And you're
And
just killing
I just woke
yourself.
up one day and I was like, why the fuck am I even doing this? Like, so unless the money's right, I won't do it anymore.
But
we
even
were doing
after,
similar on the new builds, like when the deadlines were, like for their year-end targets especially, we were working from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, an hour's drive home, getting something to eat, going to bed, waking up, going straight back to site, and we never got thanks at the end of it, so what was the point in doing it in the first place?
Exactly.
you're killing yourself for somebody else to make a big wedge of money that sticks in their pocket, and you just get your normal pie, like. And I sit here and agree with you, and I'm listening, but I suppose I'll learn. I will learn, but and I say every year, at the start of every year, I always say I'm no fucking working weekends this year, and I'm not taking on too much. And I always used to say that. See, I'll say I'm fully booked, but I actually have four days a month for a float. So basically, if a job, the customer says I don't actually like that sage green colour, I want it changed to a dark blue, then that 4 days gets used as a like, oh, it's fine, I've got the time today, or I'm underpriced and I maybe need an extra day at a job, I've got the 4 days as a wee parachute for myself.
Yeah.
But they 4 days when it starts off great at the start of the year. I hear they 4 days for running into, but see by the end of the year, they days don't exist anymore, Ken. So I maybe a lesson I maybe should learn is like allow myself more than 4 days so that backlog doesn't get crunched up like an accordion by the end of the fucking year, like.
Yeah.
And so, um, social media side, it Stuart. Obviously, you're talking about being quite pressed with work and or like taking it easier with work. So how do you like what was the when you went into your own social media, your TikTok, I think said before in a video that you started it for a kind of bit of fun to start with. Had you hurt yourself? Or?
I so what had happened was on site, as usual. Actually, I was trying to get out of doing another job that I didn't want to do. There was another painter had painted a house, and I knew it was going to be rough as toast.
Right.
But he was known as like the guy to come in and get a house over the line for a deadline. Comes in, paints a 4-bedroom house in 2 days, and then leaves to go to another house. But he leaves the guys on site to fix it, and I did not want to snag that house. So it was quite a windy day, not too dissimilar to how windy it is tonight.
Yep.
And there was a set of railings that needed painted, and I thought, fuck it, I'll go and do that. So I went and done that, and on the same property there was a guy repairing a windowsill, an external windowsill. He went away, left his ladder up, ladder blew over. It blew over and hit me in the arm, broke my arm. So that was me off work over Christmas and into the new year. And then went back to work, but I was still getting a bit of jip in my shoulder. Wasn't getting full mobility. But we were in COVID. No physios about, so I had a Zoom call with a physio, and they suggested taking up juggling. So I started that. Like my kids love it. Like they were into something special with Mr. Tumble at the time,
Right.
so they loved all that circus act stuff. But started getting into juggling a bit more, and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to make a TikTok out of this. Because, like, something I always regret is there's no a great deal of video footage of my dad. Like, I can't show my kids any,
Their
like,
granddad.
daft karaoke videos of my dad singing, or there's him playing golf or anything like that. There's nothing of that. And I thought, I'll make a TikTok of me and my juggling journey. And then when I'm gone, there's something for my kids to look back on and
A
me
wee
enjoying
legacy.
myself.
Yep.
And that started to get a bit of traction. I think my juggling account had something like 6,000 followers at the time. I'd had a video that had hit 2 million views, and I was out with my cousin, who works in social media, and he had said, like, there's a gap in the market for decorating TikTok. Like, you should take your skills that you've learned for juggling and make videos for decorating. So that's what I started doing, and it took about a year, but my decorating page overtook my juggling page, and I've just kind of focused on that now.
Yeah, you've done really
Incredible,
well on your
innit?
TikTok account.
Incredible, like.
Really well.
The juggling account's still there, by the way. I'm never on it, but
The what is?
I was thinking that's amazing. So go on and follow his juggling account too. By the way,
Yeah,
I've just
I
learned
missed
that tonight.
I missed a great opportunity because somebody that follows me on both, or not followed me on both, but they followed me on my decorating one, and they stumbled upon my juggling one, and they'd asked, "Is this you?" And I just went, "Aye, that's me." But I should have went, "No, fuck me, it looks exactly like me, eh?"
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
He's like my twin. I'm gonna have to ask for more questions.
I just want to. I can't wait. I hope you've got footsteps on that juggling account because I can't wait to see when this episode airs on Monday how many fucking people have viewed your juggling profile.
What's the name, Stu? What's the name on the account?
I think it's like Stuart Juggles or something like that.
Stuart Juggles, everyone. Get on it.
Aye, go and get it followed. Well, here, I'll definitely be having a look after this.
I will be. As soon as
Oh,
this
it's great,
ends,
the
I'll
worst
be straight
crap,
on it.
like, it's...
No, incredible. And so, obviously, I've followed you in social media for a while, and so's Baz. How do you find, like, balancing working and making your social media videos? Because I find your social media videos, there's a lot of effort goes into them. Obviously, for you, it's no effort because it looks so natural, Kim. I mean, I'll tell. And just before you answer, I particularly like your the "you make me feel" videos and it's like coming up with words or saying, I can't think off the top of my head the things that are coming up. It's like maybe things a customer has said to you or things you've said to the internet, like a trolls maybe said to you, "Why are you using tape?" and you dancing, and then
Yeah,
like,
innit?
why are you not using tape? Kim, I mean, so they're my personal favourites, by the way. But so I saw it. How do you balance it? Was the question.
Well, you can juggle,
this
so
is
you can
quite
just
it's quite
fucking.
it's been a weird topic just now because, like, I put that video up about how I'm behind on that, and many comments were like, well, less time on TikTok, more time with customers, but
Yep.
I don't actually spend a great deal of time making TikTok videos. Most of the time, I'll just set my phone down and record myself working, and then I'll edit it into something.
I don't. Are you getting crackles, Baz?
Pardon?
Are you getting odd?
Yeah,
Video
I don't know what's happened there. He started crackling a bit, like.
Aye.
Yeah.
Technical. We're having technical issues.
Right, he read it.
Yep.
I thought you was asking him a question.
I know it's just the same question, but we'll just edit his answer, Baz, because the question would be fine. And plus, I asked it in such a convoluted way the last time, so go Stu.
Aye, so it's been getting. I put a video up the other day about how I've been like behind with admin and that, and I got a lot of comments that were like, "Oh, spend more time doing admin and less time on TikTok and things like that." But I don't actually spend a lot of time making TikToks or anything like that. I usually just like set my phone down and record myself working, and then I'll edit that into something later in the day.
Yep.
If I've got something in mind, like a skit or something I think is going to be funny, or a shot I want in particular, then I'll pick up my phone and film that. But I don't actually spend a lot of time filming and editing.
Yeah.
And most of my posts are scheduled to go out. They're not like, oh, I'm editing and then posting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I don't know, after I've read the girls a story and I'm waiting for them to fall asleep, I'll edit a video together and schedule it for the next day to go out. But I think a lot of people think you spend hours filming and editing.
Aye. It takes literally 5 minutes to film, like, yourself. Maybe, like, so I made a wee video the day, don't know if you've seen it, and it was to a song where I was walking around doing a quote for somebody. That whole video must have took about 2 minutes to film. I just moved the camera, walked in with my book, and followed the camera out the door to my van, and then literally edited it, putting it together took about 5 minutes a night when I get home. You know what I mean? And you look at them and they look. I think sometimes the videos look better though.
Aye.
See if you put loads of effort in. They look like you've put loads of effort in.
I think one of my best performing videos on TikTok, it wasn't even my idea. I was doing a job
That
for a
sounds
customer
like you, Stu. Go on.
I know pretty well. And as I was working, they're like, oh, the ceiling looks fine except for this one bit. We'll get you back later in time to redecorate the whole room, but there's just this one bit next to the light that annoys me. We've got the paint, can you touch it up? And they went into their garage and brought it out, and this looked like a bucket of piss.
Right.
And I opened it and I was like, I'll just give it a stir, it'll be fine. And like she sort of just leaned in as she was leaving and she went, you should film yourself stirring that would be good content. And I thought, oh, fuck it, why no? Got the phone out, got the cyclone mixer, filmed myself mixing it, posted it just there and then. Didn't even like look at what's the best time to post or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just thought, fuck it, I'm posting that. Worked on the rest of the day, and when I logged on, when I got home, it had something like 100,000 views. I was like, bloody hell! Didn't even put any effort into that at all.
Mixing videos do well on TikTok, to be fair. Like, don't know why people enjoy it.
Stupid videos that they will do in it. I mind that I was sitting one night and kind of there's a split in the G in the Guinness class.
Aye.
And I was sitting with a pint of Tennent's in my house. I've got a Tennent's glass stolen for probably like everybody in the whole of Scotland's got a Tennent's glass, and it's got a tea in it. And I just took my phone, put the video on, and said, "I've heard this." I think I said it. No, I think I maybe just put it in words on the screen. But I was like, "You've heard the split in the Guinness G. How about splitting the big red tea?" And drunk the Guinness, and first try, no effort, put it down. And it was perfectly split, and I thought, that was quite good. That was a good take. First time, uploaded it, same kind of thing. Put the phone down, watched the football or whatever was on. Looked at my phone about half an hour later, and it had like 20,000 views, and I'm like, what? Like I put fucking decorating videos up, and I'm stuck in 200 view prison, and you put yourself a fucking video, you're drinking that much out of a pint of Tennent's, and it gets 20,000 views. I'm like, fuck me, you couldn't have followed TikTok.
What a buzz you get off that first viral video as well, eh?
Right.
Yeah. Right. I think I remember my one. There was it was like to a sound, and it was like when you work on site, but you've got a homer at the weekend, and it was like me stealing
I remember the video.
a tin of gloss.
I mean,
I thought that was quite funny, and then like I logged off, and I was like, that was the first one that got like over 20,000 views or something, and I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. What a feeling.
You're sitting you're looking at the video, and you're scrolling it up, and like you watch the video one time, but when you do that, the views jump up by about 300 views in the time you've took to watch it, and you're like, holy shit. When you've seen it happen a few times, I mean, I think we've all had kind of, I wouldn't say the viral, but we've all had decent number of videos.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing sitting watching them get up. Like, it is like you say, it's fucking addictive.
Yeah.
And then you're just chasing it. And that's, when you chase it, you can't fucking get them, unfortunately.
So, yeah, no. so do you know what though? Some people go overboard with it, don't they? Not necessarily in the decorating world, but in general life. And you can tell how much they're trying to chase that next fucking video, and they do stupid mad shit.
Yeah.
And you're thinking,
Like eating watermelons in 30 bites or less.
yeah, imagine if you did that, you'd look like a right cunt. Who, who did that?
I think it's
While
just
we're on about social media,
it's a generational thing. I think too many people are trying to work without working, so they start trying to, being an influencer or being a content creator, that could be a job, and you can just stay for work from home, filming
yeah.
yourself doing shit.
Aye,
But like it's hard, and it's a minority of people that can actually do that.
aye.
Well,
I
I've
mean,
always said I don't care if I get 50 million followers on any kind of social media. I will never call myself an influencer. Never.
Nah, I hate the word.
Speaking of influencers, have you, because you've got quite a big following, you've got quite a big following, do you think that's opened up any doors for you? Any opportunities, alright?
Yeah, I think it has. I've probably been naive and jumped at them too early without considering what they would actually lead to.
Yeah,
But I think everybody's guilty of that. Like, because you see all these people, like they get all these brand ambassador deals and paid promotions and things like that, and you're like, well, God, I want to do that.
yeah,
So when you get offered your first one, you're like, aye,
yeah.
and it might not be the right choice for you. Like, especially because a lot of the brands, like,
You're kind of taking what you're given, aren't you? You're kind of
yeah,
just like, well, I've got
I
nothing
think,
else at the minute, let me take that on.
yeah, a lot of the brands. I think it's changing, but certainly, like maybe 2 years ago, a lot of the brands were wanting stuff done for free. So they would
Yeah,
just send you a product and be like, make a video on this. And if you like, if you're not used to that, you'd be like, I'll do that. And you've made 5 videos for the same product because you're like, oh, they've chose me. I want to please them and they'll give me more.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah,
it's starting to change now, and people are a bit realise that these the brands have a marketing budget,
yeah,
and you can say to them, look, I want this amount for a video, and they'll either say no, it's not on our budget, or they'll say aye.
yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, like you still get offered products for free to try out, and I'll gladly take them and try them out. But at the end of the day, if I want it for free, I'll take it. If I didn't want it, I'm going to say no. I think that would be better going to somebody else that would actually use that.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
no point grabbing everything that comes your way. Like,
And just a wee shout out for yourself here, Stuart. Like, so you're a brand ambassador for some companies at the moment, and feel free to say them out. Like, while you're
I had a few brand ambassadorships last year, but I let them run out.
Right.
So I was with Crown,
yep,
and I was with WRX as well, but I didn't
aye,
feel right having 2 paint ambassadorships.
Yeah, yeah,
right,
I felt like there was a conflict of interest. And my Crown contract came to an end, and I thought, right, I'll let that one go, and I'll stick with the WRX, and then that one didn't get renewed, so I
right.
just took it as this. I've got an unofficial ambassador. Mixing my words up. I've got an unofficial ambassadorship with Ultra Tape. They look after me really well. They send me care packages every other month when I go to a
Sean
trade
doesn't
show.
like the word care package. I called fucking Nap and Bristles care package a care package, and he was like, "No, we're not fucking." Do you remember?
I don't remember.
And we ended up changing the word to goodie box.
Right.
It's a good one. But yeah, like, if I go to a trade show and Ultra Tape are there, I end up with a van full of masking tape. They've always looked after me since before I had a big following. Like, shout out Darren there. My
Big
very
Dazza.
first Scottish P&D show, he actually came looking for me. He was like, "You're the guy I've been looking for. We'd love to work with you. We'll send you some of our tapes to try out. If you like them, we'll ask for a video a month for you, and we'll send you as much masking tape as you need."
That's good though,
Um,
mate, because it shows that you're approachable and you don't come across as an arsehole. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean?
And like I've had opportunities to go and work with competitors, but I've always stuck with Ultra Tape because they've really looked after me, and I think loyalty is something that's it's a bit lacking these days.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So do you
And I
feel?
think, like, looking for the other side of it, I think, like, like Baz kind of said there, they'll probably be looking at you, your content and looking at you, because I think like being genuine and it's showing that you're no up your own arse or something. It really comes through in the content that you create. So I think like they're not wanting somebody that's really disingenuous, and some companies do. They want somebody like
That'll
honest
just do
bravado
anything
and that, but I sell their sell, be a sellout or whatever, and 1 minute they're selling Q1, the next minute they're selling fucking, I don't know, I better not say off because that'll really narrow it down. It'll be something like somebody's went to Q1 to mask and they'll be like, oh, he's talking about fucking him again, whatever, you know what I mean? But no, I feel like that really comes across, so it's probably quite a good thing that, like, what a great feeling, somebody coming running about a show looking for you saying, right, come over here, we want to strike up a deal with you, we love your stuff, Ken. That's, again, it's a wee boost in it for your...
Yeah, definitely. Like I was really humbled by it because like at that point I didn't really know what to expect because like I've had it in the playground before. Like some of the parents in the playground had been like, "Oh, I've seen your videos," and I'm like, "Oh God, I want the world to swallow it up." But it was like that very first Scottish P&D show. I had people coming up to me and they're like, "Oh, can I get a photo with you?" And I'm like, "Why? Like I do the same job as you."
Yeah.
It was like me and Claire were trapped in a corner for about 20 minutes with people just wanted to have a chat with me, and I was like, "What's going on here?" Like, oh, it was just really overwhelming.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah.
Well,
See,
I thought
That'll be you at Coventry.
I
Are you
think,
that guy for the Decorators then?
me
well,
and Sean will be walking around,
I,
chest out, head up, going, "Yes, that's me."
smoking one of the wee fucking cigars for
Of course.
the night thing.
Yes,
Actually,
yes. £10
obviously,
for a
I'm
photo,
fair.
£15 for an autograph.
Give me a chance. I'm came up and got today. I'm just going to write my autograph loads of down, and anybody that comes up even to ask me, "Excuse me, mate, do you know where the toilet? Here's my autograph."
Fine. Take a picture.
Do you have
No,
a
but
fiver? Nah, be gone, peasant.
like, no, obviously, I'm not saying I'm in the same stratosphere as Stuart, by the way, but right, I'm in a wee area, again, a very low populated area, right, and I get folk in my local area saying to me, I've had literally the BT man, no, Open Reach man this week when he's setting my internet up, or last week saying to us, "Oh, that'll be great for your podcast that you're doing," and I was dumbstruck, right? Didn't know what to say. Like I was just like, I didn't know how to react. But I went into, I was working down at a hair salon. This would be maybe 2 months ago, and I was working through the back, but the girls were in on the Saturday and they were doing put-ups for a wedding, right, that was on. And of course I'm walking from my van through the hairdressers into the back of the building because we were working. And when I walked through, one of the girls in the chair had said to me as I was walking through, because she hated chat as you're walking through, it's a chatty environment, right? One of the girls sitting down getting her hair cut seen me walking past in the mirror and she says, "Oh, I've just sat and watched you eating a pie roll before I came in here," because while I was saying it, I was eating a pie roll on my content talking about it, and I just laughed again, didn't ken what to fucking say. So in and I was working away, and then about half an hour later I came back out, and there was obviously a new set of people in getting fucking makeup done or hair done, and this other lady, I had no idea who she was. She was like, "Oh, I watch your stuff all the time. I'll hate to get a picture with you before I leave." And I just laughed, saying, "Oh well, yous are all looking brilliant before a wedding, and I'm standing here in a pair of dirty overalls and an all stinking t-shirt." I says, "I can't get my photo with you today." But when I came back to Natalie, I said, "Can you imagine taking a photo with me?" Sorry, my voice is gone. And then getting back home to your husband and going, "Look who I got a photo with today," and the husband is just going to be sitting there going,
Who the
"You got
fuck
a
is
photo
that?
of fucking decorator." Exactly who the fuck's that? So I couldn't do it. So I don't know how. I obviously not on the same level, but I can't deal with getting recognised. I find it so awkward.
Aye.
And obviously I'm tiny compared to here 125,000 followers. Ken, that's massive, Ken.
It's something I've only just kind of recently used to like I've talked about that first Scottish P&D show, and then when I went to the Bolton show after that, I thought that'll not be the same because I can understand that I'm a Scottish painter. That was a Scottish P&D show. That made sense. It was worse at Bolton because I didn't realise how many people followed me from England.
See, I saw you at Coventry, and you were ever talking to Joanne Hay at the time near like the Arrowworthy stand, I think. But I was too shy to come over and speak to anybody. I'm not a shy person. I find it even awkward coming up and saying, "Oh, I really like you on social media." But whereas
Yeah, because you feel like you're a groupie or something. Like,
I've lost the shyness this year thanks to doing more on TikTok with my face and doing this. Shy's the wrong word because I'm not a shy person. I think it's maybe more just apprehensive. But no, I think at the Scottish Painting Decorating show this year in March, I think I walked past you and I just squeezed you in the back of your arm when you were talking to somebody at the end of the thingamabase, and I just said to you, "I love your stuff, mate. I'll get the crack with you at some point." And you just looked at me and said, "Oh, cheers." Again, and I never ever got the crack with you
Well,
until obviously the WhatsApp stuff.
that show was mental. Like I can't believe how busy that was.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to speak to half the people I wanted to actually catch up with.
No.
see, I only just caught Stu in the corner of my eye because I was talking to Smith and Roger, the people at Smith and Roger,
Aye.
and they were on about Stu had just been there before me, and I was like, all right, yeah, Stu. Obviously, I know about Stu off TikTok and that. And he's like, oh, he's over there actually. And I said, I tell you what, I'll go and say hello to him. And I just popped round and had a look. And I was like, oh, yeah, alright, mate. And I think it was actually Stu that asked for a picture with me.
I do. I like to get photos with people. Like I think most of the photos I've taken, it shows I've asked for them. Like
But that's what I mean. That's why when I was on about you before, about you being approachable and genuine, like, you could have just been a knobhead and gone, oh, fucking not, like, another person now fucking go, because as Sean said, he's already been up to you and gone, oh, hi mate, I like your work and da. And I'm sure there was plenty more people that came up to you that day. But yeah, you could have been a knobhead and just gone, oh, fucking hell, yeah,
I
whatever.
wanted to catch up with Sean because Sean was in that past the
Oh,
phone video we done.
I was, aye, that's right, aye.
The what?
We done I think it was last March 2024. We done a big collaboration in Decorators where we passed the phone saying something supportive to one another. Of course, all the Scottish guys smashed it out the park with the punnage.
It was like I'm passing the phone to the best fucking person for cutting.
Oh, I think I saw that. That. Obviously, I
I
went
shared it yesterday or something, or the day before on my Instagram, on my story.
I actually forgot about that. So that see that would be probably one of the very first videos I put my face on.
Yeah.
But actually, at that painting decorating show this year in March, I've told this story on here before, but I'll tell it again. That was the turning point for me because I spoke to Murph. I went up to Murph. I followed Murph for lifetime when I spoke to you, but I followed him and I walked up to him and I spoke to him for 2 minutes.
Followed him in
and
toilets.
then after he says, "Sorry mate, who are you?" And it was like, "Oh, it's just because." We had spoke online, but never. I just realised that I know his face, but he's never.
Yeah, he haven't got a clue.
I'd really like a pan-social relationship because we kind of knew one another. And then when I said it was like, "Oh mate, sorry, it's just because you don't put your face on your TikTok." And when I came away from that show, I thought, like, I'm not a shy person. I'm not nervous. So like I thought to myself, why the fuck am I not just putting myself out there?
Yeah,
I've got
innit?
nothing to lose and everything to gain, and I'm kind of glad that I hate in now. So
It's
That,
like
uh,
it. It's
That
like
past the phone video actually opened the door for a lot of people to like get a wee bit more confidence in front of the camera, and I think it's something I'm extremely proud of.
yeah.
we should maybe do something similar again for when it's coming up for what was it for? It was for mental health or something, wasn't it? There was a
It
reason
was-
for it.
Aye, it was because there was I read an article about how all the older tradesmen are dropping out and there's no enough apprentices to fill the void, and I just wanted to show that like the painting community was a supportive place and hopefully inspire a couple of the younger ones. And then we done another one this year, with the "If you can piss, you can paint" video. I've got an idea for next year. We'll come to that.
We'll look out for that, Ian.
We'll get the whole group chat involved with that one.
Where are we here? Do you ever feel like the pressure of making content for clicks rather than what's true to you? I think that question's probably kind of been answered, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it has. Yeah.
We've answered it through other questions. Yeah, I mean, you're clear. You're no sitting down and thinking, "Oh, I need to get these clicks. You've already you're doing the numbers by being genuine, so you're not really gonna need to do that, if that makes sense."
Nah, I never feel the need to like do anything like that or make myself a full-time character. Like sometimes I'll do something that's funny just because I think that'll be funny. But most of the time I'm like, I just post what I want to post.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people have criticised it in the past, saying I'm trying to be other people. But if I think something's funny, I'm going to make the video about it and post it. If I think I've got a nice bit of work, I'm going to film it and showcase it. I didn't like being pigeonholed and like having to always, because my tutorials videos always seem to do well, but I don't want to do them all the time. I don't want to be known for just doing that. I like having a laugh. I like making relatable stuff for being on a building site.
See, that's why I don't do like hints and tips and shit like that, like tutorials, and because I feel like there's so much content out there. Now I know it'll still get the views anyway, but there's so much out there that I feel like I'm just copying everyone else. Like I feel like there's only certain ways you can do it. Sure, the same fucking hack or the same tip or the same trick or do you know what I mean? That's why I generally don't do that type of content.
Stuart's actually playing like 200 IQ, like 2000 IQ plays where his hints and trick videos he evolved into fucking fake hints and tricks. So I don't know if you're familiar with loads of his content, but he's got a video that drives me insane every time he shares it, and it's like, your decorator tells you that you need to miscoat. This is just a lie to get fucking
yeah.
And then it's
that
you don't need
there's
to
the when you
fill the walls and just paint over the top.
That's what I was.
And then it's cleverly done, so it looks like the end of the video, and then it starts again. But then if you watch beyond that, so always watch to the end of folks' videos before you come on to your shit comments, because then he says he reveals it to be a lie. But the amount of people that you catch with they kind of videos is fucking incredible.
He's getting that shared again tomorrow.
Which kind of leads me on to our second last question. It's like,
how big's your cock?
Trolls, like it seems so easy for you to knock them down. You seem to kind of take it in your stride. A lot of people, trolls obviously are going to be hard to deal with, but is it hard? Is it so easy to deal with them, or do you just kind of pick and choose your battles?
No, I find it quite easy to deal with them, to be honest. Actually, on the back of that video, I had a troll for ages that couldn't accept that it was a piss take.
Right.
Like, I was like, oh, you can paint over your filler right away without sanding it. It'll be fine.
And you're like...
Something like 6 months, you're the guy that paints over filler. I was like, you didn't watch that whole video. I even done, like, how you can take a comment and make a video about it.
Yep.
I even like took that comment and put it onto the video where I explained that I was taking the piss, that it was in my own house, it was my daughter's room.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't have it. He just had an agenda and he couldn't see past it.
And that goes back to, again, what we spoke about before, not being able to please everyone. And that is because they can't be asked watching the full video of you explaining that it was a piss take. And
the best thing about that video is the misquoting bit, because everybody jumps on and says, you have to misquote. That's the last bit.
Yeah. So they've watched the fucking video. Yeah.
I'm explaining that the whole thing's a piss take. You need to watch videos to the end. You can't believe everything that's on the internet. But they're already rage commenting.
Yeah.
Like,
They've let it...
Trolls, there's only ever been one troll that really got under my skin. It was very well publicised at the time, and it was
I remember it.
the guy that slagged off my dad. That's the only troll that's ever got under my skin. But
Yeah, I
you know,
remember seeing that.
I spent most of my early 20s and that on Twitter, football Twitter, and it's toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the worst type of people on Twitter.
Yep.
That's where I cut my teeth in social media. So a couple of people calling me a clown or a cowboy or anything doesn't really bother me. I'll just give them sarcasm back. But that was the only troll that really got under my skin.
Aye,
See-
and no, we'll just lay that in what it is because they're not even worth the airtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
But yeah, I do.
Last-
When all that was happening, I do remember seeing that as it was happening. Like,
Yeah, same.
and it was just
You
way
get
out
some,
of hand.
you
That
get some low lives out there that just want to that because you're better than them, they're jealous of everything you've got, whether it's your business, your family life, your work, your content. They just don't like seeing somebody else doing well. And I mean, there is a block button on TikTok. If they're not happy watching your content, they can literally put not interested or can block you.
It's amazing how many trolls follow you
Yeah,
so they can actually see your stuff. Like
Aye.
they say something and you'll click their profile because I always click their profile because there's always something I can use.
Yep. Aye.
to,
Aye. For
to
videos
slag them
private.
off. And follow back. What?
Well, I seen you recently where somebody had made a comment it was on Facebook, and it was they made the comment, a full-grown adult wearing a football top, fucking cringe, grow up, or they'd made some derogatory comments about somebody, but obviously these folk that are really good in social media did these things where they clicked into his profile and went down pages and pages, and here was this clown sitting out with his mates with a West Ham top on, and they just posted that picture in the comments and wrote like, what a fucking idiot. So it just shows you like that if you're going to be a troll, you have to be a fucking good troll, because there's always
I don't
something
fight fair
to
either. I do not fight fair. Like I had one troll recently, and when I found him, I couldn't find anything on his TikTok to use against him. But I managed to. I went into his following list, and they always leave trails, and he had family.
Yep.
So I managed to get
Right.
a first and a last name. Went on Facebook, found it, and what did I find? There's a picture of him wearing lipstick.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. I
Excellent.
struck gold. So every time that guy comes up on my TikTok now, it's even better now because TikTok lets you reply with photos.
yeah.
I just have
Straight
that
into the
photo.
comment section.
He calls me a clown. I put up the picture of him wearing a full face of makeup.
Absolutely genius. The only thing I wish TikTok would implement would show you how long somebody's followed you for and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wish because see how useful that would be. Ken, like if you could look at somebody and say, oh, they followed me since March 2020 or whenever, Ken, it would be useful for these trolls, Ken. If somebody commented on your video and they've just followed you yesterday, you're not going to be as bothered. Whereas if somebody's followed you for 2 years and they're just on your page giving you shit, you think like, you fucking followed me for 2 years.
I had that on Instagram this year. He was a plasterer, so we should have known better. But he was asking me for advice, like basically begging me for advice, and I'd been giving him it. But then every now and again he would come up with a wee comment, like I think I went to a festival, and I like posted a picture of me holding a beer, and he just like commented, "I see the diet's going well," and I was like, "Well, that's a bit odd." And then I commented something else, and
That is such a weird thing to fucking comment.
the guy was a fucking less said about him the better.
Plasterer party.
Aye, and then I put up something else and he commented and I was like, right, no, have you got a problem with me, mate? And then he came up with all this thing like, oh, you're a nodding dog, you're a grifter, blah, 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 blah. And he went on an absolute fucking tirade of abuse and I was like, fuck him, I'm blocking him. Absolute fucking weirdo. After I'm begging for advice and I'd actually been nice to him the whole time, I felt he was trying to get me to say something to get me cancelled or something like that. So I had to watch what I was saying, but I just kind of kept laughing at him, and he was getting more angry, and I was like, oh, nah, hit that block button, forget about him.
And see, on that, do you ever, like, before you're going to upload a video, do you ever look and say, you think, oh, I might not upload that in because you know it's going to get hate, or does that make you even you want to put it up even more because you know you're going to rage bait with obviously your misquote videos, but I mean genuine content like that's no there to troll where you're maybe doing something?
Nah, no really. I generally just post and ghost and then let the comments go where they may. It brings out the stupid though. I mean, there's that video, we talked about it in the group chat, and it's the one where I'm rolling a wall, and I think Baz told me to post it. It was like fat £250 a room, 5 rooms a day
Yeah.
equals 150 grand, and it's like
Yeah.
2 million at the end of the year. And the amount of comments, it's like, no wonder you're a painter because your maths is shit.
That math isn't adding up, and you're like, well, I fucking know that's the point.
You can't paint a room. You can't paint 5 rooms in a day. I'm like, do you believe everything on the internet? think the world's flat.
People are so easily triggered, and it's just hilarious.
It's the easiest thing in the world to bait fucking stupidity.
Telling you, warning labels, remove them for everything. Natural selection will. Survival of the smartest.
Fucking don't like these sparking wires. Fuck me, man. Appreciate you coming on and speaking today, mate.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, Stu.
Amazing, big person to have on for our very first guests. So we appreciate you coming on and giving us your time, especially on a Friday night. Everybody it's filmed there's a wee trade secret, but no, thanks from me for a start.
And a massive thank you from me.
Some big support of your project. I hope big things are coming your way.
Yeah, and you should get your hoodie in the next day or so as well. We sent you out a nice Decorators Den hoodie.
I'll put it on my stories.
Never mind your stories. I want it on your wall in a picture frame. No, so you'll never forget you've been on this podcast.
No, it needs to be displayed.
It's appearance fee
everywhere.
But no, yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been.
You're getting on my £100 an hour in appearance fees, eh?
Well, Sean said he'll pay that for you.
Again, thanks for watching, folks. It's next week's episode is back to me and Baz, but we're doing something slightly different. It's going to be, I'm going to actually be interviewing Baz a little, get to know Baz a little better next week, and then 3 weeks down the line we'll do one about myself. So my favourite subject. But no,
if you see this and you're not, or listen to this and you're not already following Stu, go and give him a follow. He's on nearly all socials anyway. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. SMcLean. SMcLean on all socials. And he does actually, it's not always taking a piss videos. He does actually have some good tips that you can actually follow. If you're a DIYer or if you're still learning the trade, I mean, we're always learning, but if you're just getting into the trade, he has got some genuine tips that will help you out a lot.
And again, if you're not subscribing, subscribe. We've got the Nap and Bristle decorating goodie box to give away, and if you're needing any wee decorating supplies, www.napandbristle.co.uk. But no, again, thanks for watching. On to the next one.
On to the next one. Right, good night.